Should we tell them about our rivalry?
We can. You mean the thing that you're going to lose on?
No, the thing you're going to lose on. So, guys, you are not allowed to go subscribe to Jeremy's channel.
Subscribe.
You're not, no. Because we're in a dead race to see who can get to 10,000 subscribers first. And I'm going to win. Hello and welcome back. I am super excited that you're back on my channel where I teach you hashtag all the video things so you can make hashtag all the money. And today I'm back with my good friend Jeremy Vest from VidPow. Welcome, Jeremy.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
So Jeremy and I met at Video Labs Live. That was the name of it, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that. But Tim Smoyer's Video Labs Live, and we instantly discovered that we were basically the same person.
Pretty much.
Basically. Yeah.
I'm a little cooler than you, but that's
True.
okay.
And you're also older, so that
Whoa.
whoa. Burn. But we were basically the same person. So it made sense for me to bring you on and let you talk about things that I don't know as much about, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Should we tell them about our rivalry?
We can. You mean the thing that you're going to lose on?
No, the thing you're going to lose on. So, guys, you are not allowed to go subscribe to Jeremy's channel.
Subscribe.
You're not, no. Because we're in a dead race to see who can get to 10,000 subscribers first. And I'm going to win. And what happens when I win, Jeremy?
I don't know, because that's not going to happen.
I told him that if I won, that he had to make his speech from Social Media Marketing World in a dress that I pick out.
Wow.
I know, that's harsh, isn't it?
But we haven't talked about when I win what you're going to do.
Because that's not going to happen.
Wow.
So,
okay.
But yeah, you guys should go check out his channel because there's some good stuff there, but don't hit the subscribe button. Okay? Just saying. Just saying. So today we're going to chat about discoverability though, because a lot of times people are worried about I'm going to put up this video and then literally nobody's going to see it. And a lot of times people are talking about oh, all your views come from suggested videos or all your views come from search. So I'd love to just let you loose and let you talk about discoverability. So go for it.
Sure. So I think the biggest misconception is you're going to go make this great video and people are going to come watch it. That really doesn't work anymore. When you have a new channel, what you have to do is you have to actually develop kind of a frequency of videos, and then slowly people will start finding your videos. The number one ranking algorithm for YouTube is watch time. So how long people watch your videos. It's not the percentage of watch. So it's not 87% of the time people watch your videos. It's more 4 minutes or 2 minutes. Let's say your competitor has a 10-minute video and people watch it for 40% of the time or 4 minutes. And you have a 5-minute video, but people watch it 90% of the time. None of that really matters. Don't get caught up in all the details. Just know that you want to have your video watched longer than your competitors. So don't worry about all the technical details of it all.
Yeah.
So making videos that get a lot of watch time is pretty much the only thing that matters now on YouTube.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing.
For sure. I have a question. So does that mean that we need to be producing longer content?
I think it's relative to what you're doing. I mean, you definitely, if you're teaching someone how to scramble eggs, it probably doesn't need to be 20 minutes long.
Wait, are there videos teaching people how to scramble eggs?
There are a whole genre of people learning how to scramble eggs.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess if you're a college kid and mom never showed you how to scramble eggs, I could see you turning to YouTube to do it. That's weird, but okay.
Or if you're a 40-year-old guy and his mom never taught him how to do anything. No, I'm just kidding.
And so now you're 40 and you're I really would like to know how to teach my girls how to scramble eggs, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's always something that comes up for us is should my videos be 5 minutes? Should my videos be 10 minutes? Should they be 20? Should they be 30? And there's no good formula, right? But it's you want people staying on as long as possible, however long the video
Yeah,
is?
that's the number one question I get asked, especially when I speak at conferences. And I say the exact time you need to make your video is, and everyone leans in, and I'm like, as long as people watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really the answer is you can, in YouTube analytics, you can go to something called audience retention, absolute and relative audience retention. You can see when people start leaving your videos. So you can actually, from a analytical perspective, find out why people leave your videos, and then don't do that anymore and do more of this reason of why people kept on watching your videos. It's pretty simple stuff, but watch time is definitely the most important thing. The second most important thing, in my opinion, is actually thumbnails. Nothing else is thumbnails. That's the second.
Well, that's
and the reason for that is when you're watching a video, on the right-hand side, suggested videos, that is actually the number one way people organically find videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
So if you think about a video as a billboard, then you'll realize why that's so important. So I would highly recommend your thumbnails are shinier, more colorful, more saturated, more sharp. Eyes are the window to the soul, so you want to make sure your face is really close up so people can see your eyes from a subconscious perspective. Even on anime channels I work on, like eyes are the most critical part of actually getting someone to click on a thumbnail. So thumbnails are huge. Very, very important. Some like Funimation is a YouTube channel I helped do the strategy for, and we were getting over 7 million more organic clicks a year just after we replaced the thumbnails. Like just that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
My favorite thumbnail of all time is from Vsauce, and it's literally just a yellow box, and the title says, "This is not yellow." So the intrigue, the duality of, but it is yellow, it got that video over 20 million organic views. So the second part of this is titles, right? Because the thumbnail is kind of the billboard, and the title is actually kind of concreting your thoughts or ideas of if you want to click on that. Right. So one thing, the thumbnail should definitely tell a story. It shouldn't be just a static image. It should kind of have enough visualization in it to say, for example, if you're looking at a hairstyle, you'd want to see the before and after, right? Mm-hmm. Something like that. So it's like the before, after, if you're doing some type of how-to or DIY project, or if you're doing something like Tim Smoyer has he has great thumbnails. If you go to video creators, he has really, really good thumbnails, because typically what he does is he shows himself, maybe one of his guests, and then kind of what they're talking about from a visual perspective. So think more of like a visualization, not a thumbnail, to where your thumbnail tells the story that's going to happen. That's very important.
Yeah. So one of the things I hear you say is like rainbow vomit or unicorn vomit. Like just make them. So explain what you mean by that. Like make them really colorful, or what do you mean?
Yeah. If you go to my YouTube channel, VidPow Bam, but don't subscribe.
That's right. Do not subscribe, guys.
You'll see typically it's a picture of me or one of my guests pretty close up so you can see their eyes. Typically instead of the thumbnail just being like this, there's hands or something happening to where it looks like there's action. And then in the background, I have like a sunburst purple Vombo rainbow of death or something back there. Yeah. And if you think about it, all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stand out from the thumbnail above and below myself. That's really what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. So when we're thinking about discoverability, a lot of people are thinking about like the SEO factors, like the title and the keywords and all of that. So do you want to talk a little bit about that stuff? Because I feel like there's like two camps in YouTube. Yeah. It's either keyword the snot out of the video and like do that, or really rely on suggested videos and do that. So what are your feelings there?
First, I would say there's one camp, and the camp is the realities of how you're going to rank. I'm a nerd, obviously, right?
Duh, yes.
So I've always leaned heavily, and I've done the discover. I don't call it video SEO. I think that's
Okay.
actually an incorrect name because SEO is search engine optimization.
Hmm.
YouTube technically is a search engine, but there's over 11 ways to be discovered on YouTube. So by saying SEO, you're actually only covering one of the 11 ways. So I call it, and this is a horrible name, but I personally call it video discoverability optimization,
Okay.
VOD, VOD. And that actually covers, there's a million ways to be found, especially on YouTube. Discoverability optimization is a better term for it. So what were we talking about? I got confused in my own VOD language.
In your VOD, we were just talking about like whether we should optimize. So, for instance, that video you were talking about with like the yellow thumbnail and the title was "This is not yellow." That's not searchable. Nobody's searching for like "This is not yellow," right? Like that's not. So whether like which one is best, like that part or
Right.
the search engine keywords. That's what we were talking about. Old
Okay.
man.
So, wow. You're going to be the death of me. I can tell that right now.
Yep. Yep.
All
This is
right.
why I'm gonna win. This is why I'm
So
winning.
whatever. For brands, so we typically start off with the how-to. So for example, when I worked with Gillette, we created a whole bunch of videos on how to shave. And what's interesting about that, even though Dollar Shave Club had a way cooler video than we made, that combination of the how to shave videos, one actually ranks how to shave. We rank #1 on YouTube for that term still. That was several years ago. And two, we actually got more views in total than the Dollar Shave Club video, even though none of our videos went viral. So to start by answering the questions people are asking within a brand, I think is the best way to start getting views and start to develop an actual audience. So I do think, now if you're a vlogger, this really doesn't work because you're just, a vlogger just needs to focus on collabs with people similar to the subscribers they have. And they just need a collab like 24/7, like all the time, just keep on collabing. And then those audiences will find you, and then their audience will find you, and that other audience of people will find you. So collabs or vlogs are completely different. It's really just a collab game. But for brands or a business, I would say start off by answering the questions people are asking. And then from there, you can start developing your own content once you actually have an audience. That would be that's the way I look at it. Out of the billion views we have for our customers, about 700 or 800 million of those are from how-to content, because a brand does not have a personality. A 14-year-old beauty vlogger, she can get 1 billion views, but it's really hard for a brand to get views because they're not an actual person. Ultimately, the way all of these big YouTubers and big YouTube channels become successful is they develop an audience, and that audience loves them, and the audience is leaning in, wanting to see that next thing. So starting with how-to, a lot of these big YouTubers started with answering questions that people were typing in and asking.
Yeah, no, that's really good advice, because I always think about people like Casey Neistat, right? And like he just randomly titles his videos like "My wife did this thing" or whatever, and it's not at all searchable. And for me, at the level my channel's at, like I feel like I only get really good traction when I do really good like keyword ranking and all of that, because it's searchable, like how to use this or how to do that thing. But that's a really good point, that like once you build the audience, you can do a little more of the like intriguing kind of personality pieces. That's a good one. I like that point.
Once you have an audience, it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
And because of social proof and social velocity, you're going to be seen more when more people watch, because of watch time. And if you have 1 million subscribers, it's going to be very easy for someone to click that subscribe button because they already trust those other 1 million people know what they're talking about. So once you hit a couple 100,000 subscribers, honestly,
pocket change.
I mean, honestly, all of that other stuff doesn't mean that much. Now, what it does do, and me and a lot of the kind of guys in the space argue that a person like PewDiePie, even though he's the biggest YouTuber in the world, could do a whole lot better in showing up for his own videos on the suggested views on the right-hand side. If he would have similarities and titles and tags throughout all his videos, he would probably get 20 to 30% more views, in my opinion.
Okay.
So I do think, even though they don't have to, Casey has almost 9 million subscribers.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to work a day in his life again. He doesn't have any.
Right.
He's bigger than most movie stars at this point.
Mm-hmm.
A movie star can't just put up a video and get 10 million views,
Yeah.
So we have to understand how, once you get this velocity and you start getting all these people liking you, all of that stuff, it means nothing. But it does mean a little bit. You could control how much you show up in suggested videos. So it is fairly important. But, it's not everything. The quality of your videos and the audience you're trying to reach, that's way more important. It really is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what's funny is even people within this industry that say, oh, none of that stuff matters, go look at their tags and titles and playlists. They're like looking at everything. They're the people, the most haters of oh, none of that stuff works. Go look at their tags and titles. They have 20 or 30 tags in there and their titles. Now, one thing I do, I call this the nested title philosophy. Okay. Instead of thinking of going to make a video to rank, what I actually do is I think of a series of videos. So what I do, let's say I'm going to want to rank for the #1 term for what I do on YouTube is how to get more views or how to get more subs on YouTube. Mm-hmm. That's the hardest video, the hardest thing to rank for.
Okay.
What I would do, and I'm telling my my evil competition this right now, but it's okay.
You're basically giving me all your secrets, but it's fun. I'm listening. I'm listening. Lego Batman movie reference there. Did you hear that one?
I have.
That's
funny. So what I would do is I would make a 10 or 50 or 100 videos on how to get more views would be the big topic. And then the way I'm going to get more views would actually be the video. So like with Gillette, how to shave a beard, the mustache, your back, whatever, right?
Ew.
So
But
I've never shaved my back. I can promise you that.
I'm going with that. Okay, I'm listening. Go ahead.
So if someone really wanted to dominate this YouTube tips area, I would make 50 videos on how to get more views, whatever the with titles, with tags, with descriptions. Gotcha. Make 50 of those. I would put those all in individual playlists with 7 to 10 videos in each playlist. And then, so I call that the nested. So every video you make is part of a bigger topic. Typically, people are just talking about a subset of a topic within one video. Mm-hmm. And then to kind of lock all of that in to get really rank on the right-hand side, I would also put the name of your channel at the end.
Okay.
What this does, it adds similarity across all of your videos and your titles and tags and descriptions, not descriptions, but titles and tags.
Right.
So that it's just more likely for YouTube to show a video that has a similar title to yours.
Gotcha. So if you were going to do that, would you film them? Not film them. That has nothing to do with it. But would you release them back to back, or would you kind of space them out, or how would you do that? Or does it matter?
Personally, I would do probably one a week in that series. Mm-hmm. So right now, if you were starting a brand new channel, I would do one video a week that was live gotcha. on YouTube and one on Facebook or simulcast. Mm-hmm. I would do one video a week on answering questions people are asking. And then I would do one video a week on making people understand who you are as a human so they okay. can connect. Those would be, for anyone starting out, that's the 3 videos I would make. The reason I wouldn't do 4 or 5, 6 or 7 videos is because I don't have that much time.
No, most people don't.
But the more content you put out, the more YouTube's going to show you to others, the more watch time you're going to get. So, honestly, people that are putting out more content are going to win over people that are putting out less content. And that's a big change for YouTube. We've really only seen that in the last year. Channels like Daryl Leaves and these big channels, they're just growing and they're doing really well. But I can tell you right now, if you don't put out a lot of content, your competitors are going to beat you now.
Yeah, no, I can tell a difference. Like if I will do 2 times a week and then go to 3 times a week, like I can tell a difference just in my subscribers and like how quickly they're growing and all of that. So that's really cool. So to wrap it up, give us the secret sauce for like one thing people need to be doing to be like as discoverable as possible. Like if, for instance, if I were wanting to be like, to know I was getting ready to make a video that was just going to like blow up and I knew that people were going to like love it and I knew that YouTube was going to love it, like how would I really optimize that so it could be shown to more people?
So besides just making sure whatever you want to rank for is in the video and making sure that the videos gets watched a long time, what I would do is I would have that one word that you're trying to rank for in the thumbnail text. Okay. I would have that big phrase in the title. I would have that big phrase as a single phrase in the tag. And I would have that big phrase in the channel keywords.
Oh, okay. So there's a little golden nugget.
Yeah, I would also put that phrase in the description. And the playlist would be that exact phrase that it was in.
Okay, so like just lots of good SEO or VOD juju going on there, right?
Yeah, that's literally like my secret formula. So now you know everything.
Now I know everything, and I'm really going to kick your butt now. Are you sitting on a bouncy ball, by the way?
I am.
Every time I see you, every time you move, you're like bouncing up and down. I'm like,
I'm just excited.
Yeah, I think he's sitting on an exercise ball.
Sorry.
So if people want to go find you and your content, but not subscribe, what's your channel URL?
It's you can go to youtube.com/VidPow or VidPowBam. You'll find me either way. But don't subscribe.
But don't subscribe because I'm winning this race. Just saying.